Hello there, only one Kenobi here, only one. And this is an overview of Wave 39 of the Vintage Collection, the reissue Wave. I've got to say this is a pretty decent one. Well, 2 out of 4 are definitely awesome for me anyway, because I really want to open these two. I just want to open my figures. If I don't, man, I get triggered, yeah. But these two are, brilliant. I'm so glad they brought them back. And they're different as well, so I'm going to have a look at them. And also, obviously, as you can tell, what I'm going to do here is compare them as well to the originals. So the ones in the star cases are off the wall, and they're the original release. I'll take them out of the star case in a minute, but these are the ones that have, excuse the squeaky chair, these are the ones that have come out now. Now, this one's a puzzling one because, why he has come out, I just don't know. Because there were some retailers, one of them being Star Action Figures, that obviously had him left from the original run of it. I think it's probably because they found a case in their warehouse. But why did they have a case in their warehouse? I'd say because they couldn't sell him, and they found him somewhere in the back. But actually, before I go any further, I've just got to say, and when I first opened these, my first reaction, and I'd heard that the cardstock was thicker, but it is much better. It's well good. It feels thicker, and it looks better. The card backs have got that finish to them. I can't describe it basically, but there's a certain way it shines. Hang on. It just reminds me of the old stock. But some of the new ones are really shiny. They're really thin and just really glossy. Like one of the figures that I begged to come back, and I can't even find him now. Where is he? Boba Fett on the Blue Sky card. I'm very thankful they brought him out, but overall the finish of that card means I couldn't fully enjoy it and embrace it. Plus, I've got some issues with that figure as well. But it's such a shame that didn't meet the era of them thickening up the cards, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? It's a shame that and others that we've had now. We've had loads of figures. We have had over almost 100 now, or maybe more, since the VC 115, the Return of the Vintage Collection, and Rey 116. There's been a ton of stuff that's come out that unfortunately they're on crap cards, but still, I digress. So here we go. This is Ahsoka Tano, and this is amazing, really, the fact that she's come back out. This one here, at the time of me spending £80 on it, seemed like a lot of money, but considering some people have spent over 500 plus, and potentially up to 1,000 and the rest graded, is insane. But she'll look a lot nicer once I take her out that star case. But I'm glad to have the original and unpunched. But for anyone who wasn't really that bothered about that card or whatever, then you've got it now, haven't you? You know what I mean? And you've not had to spend hundreds, which is insane. But she's quite different. I'll just show you the face again. I'm overviewing it very quickly. That's a completely different facial sculpt on that figure. But overall, not my favourite figure, that one, of Ahsoka. And Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I do also have this one loose. But you know what? This one here, I've got to get this open. Not this one particularly. Hopefully, I think I've got another one ordered. But what I'm saying is this one I've got to have loose. That is way better, totally different from that one. This one, from what I remember, going back to the FlyGuy.net eras, when I used to watch his videos, I think he said this was a Legacy Collection repack. I guess that's right, or have I got that wrong? But yeah, it's all right. It reminds me a little bit more of Alan Rickman or somebody in the facial sculpt, but this one got a slightly reddish tone. I dare say ginger. It's not ginger, but Ewan McGregor has that kind of chestnut kind of coloured hair, and that one definitely reflects that. And also facial sculpt wise, I think they've done a really good job there. And then moving on to Mace Windu, and hang on, I nearly went on him first because I've got a point to make here. The facial sculpt on this one, it's way different, man. I'm having another look at it again now. I've not seen this for a couple of days, but I can see roughly that they've kind of followed maybe the original mold or something. But I don't know. But my favourite one, and I'm going to run and get it from my loose room in a minute, is the Clone Wars one. Not the animated Clone Wars, but the one that was in the Black Series orange card line, which is the bane of my life, that line of figures, because all of those should have been on Vintage Collection cards. There's a Mace Windu in that line, which should have come on a card like this. It would have been awesome if it did. And he's kind of like this Obi-Wan down here, excuse me. This one, a bit like that, really. If only it had come on a card back with Samuel L. Jackson on it, that would be awesome. Depicted in the Clone Wars, but he's got like kind of like not as much armor as him, but he's kind of wearing Jedi robes with 2 gauntlets on. But what's my point now? Yeah, the facial sculpt on that one is pretty darn good. But this one, I don't know what's going on with that one really. He reminds me of somebody else. I can't think who it is now. Very thick eyebrows. Look at him. Wow. Whoa. He still looks cool, man. And I definitely want that one loose, because that would do nicely on not necessarily my Revenge of the Sith shelf, but on my sorry, I meant to say not necessarily on my Attack of the Clones shelf, which is the card back there, but I have a lovely ensemble of Jedi on my Revenge of the Sith, including Sass-18, is it, and Kit Fisto, and Ajen Kalar, is he called, and then I want a really good Windu to go with them. At the minute, I've got like a dodgy Windu from somewhere. Anyway, whatever. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go and show you what I've got. I'm going to go and get some of the figures as well. Boom, join me. Yeah, there you are. Instead of like trying to explain something to you, why don't I just let me show you? Now, there's my original Obi-Wan Kenobi, by the way, and they look really good together. There's a really good Anakin, and I'm hoping Hasbro are going to use that one in particular when they bring out the regular Anakin Skywalker, which is on the cards, no pun intended, but that's the second version that they brought out in the orange card line. Anyway, down here is what I was on about. Well, hang on. No, down here. I've got these 4 together. Look at that. Oh, I didn't. Hang on a minute. I did not mean to put that in. It's like a shameless plug. No, that's a total accident. That had been on the floor, that, and I put it on the shelf. Anyway, no, there's Kit Fisto, Sass. Is it Sass-18? It's all 4 of them, but this figure here is actually a 5 POA figure, which I thought had quite an impressive head sculpt. And like reminded me a little bit of Samuel L., but with the robe's a bit puffy there, but still, I'm dying to put a proper, super articulated, vintage, styly, vintage collection Mace Windu with these 4 here, sort of like the Order 66 sort of run of things there. Yeah, but the other figure I just want to grab for now is, where is he now? Clone Wars dude is here. Whoa, here. Excuse the flight sickness there. This is my Clone Wars shelf, and there he is. That's a really good Samuel L. Jackson, or well, Mace Windu. I think that's a really good sculpt, that, and it's just bloody crying shame that wasn't put on a vintage collection card back. You know what I mean? It would have been awesome just to go with him and Ahsoka as well. But you know, it still happen, I suppose. I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to the other room. I'm going to compare them side by side. Let's do it. Alrighty. All done now. I've got them all in a row here. The one on the right is the original release. The one on the left is the new one. And we'll just go in on them now. I think I'm casting a shadow there. But here is this original one. Look at his face. He looks quite surly, doesn't he? But again, that other figure I've just shown you, I think looks a little bit more like Samuel L. Jackson. And dare I say, I think that other one's got the correct skin tone. This one looks a little darker. This one's slightly lighter, but I just think they've lost it with the facial sculpt there. I don't know, man. I think that other one is better. But still, there you go. Lighter robe, is it? Same coloured robe. Still you can't beat seeing the unpunched one there. That's great, isn't it? This guy used to go for a lot of money as well on the secondary market. Even back when I got my stuff in, like, say, 2016. I got a lot of it in 2016, just before the whole market boomed. But he was always, expensive. So that's a welcome addition for a lot of people. Plus, I'm thankful that's come out to open him. And here is Alan Rickman. Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know how to do an impression of Alan Rickman, but you know what I mean. I don't know. He's all right, I guess. I do like this figure, even the original one. But let's have a look at this fella here. If we pivot it, what we're doing here. This is really nice, though. I like that. Looks definitely more Ewan McGregor, isn't it? Right. I think I pivoted it because I was casting a shadow. But let's see if I can go on them both together. You get the general idea, don't you? What do you think? And then I'm going to move hastily on to Ahsoka Tano. Now, this is crazy, this figure. Because, I don't know. God knows what have you spent on her? I don't know. But I've never enjoyed this figure here. I retired this figure, which I do have loose, because it came out in the Black Series, red and black line. That makes sense. Just move out of the way for a minute. when I say I've retired the figure, what I now have is this figure on my Mandalorian shelf with a Rey Island Journey poncho, only because this figure's so awful that, well, maybe that's being highly critical, but I just, you can't do anything with the waist. I don't particularly like the outfit she's wearing here. The articulation's just, when I say the waist, I mean that she's not got the ball jointed, she's got, you know, those hinges, and she's just kind of stiff, and you can't do much with her. Pose wise, it's awful. She's a very flexible character, you know, acrobatic and you know, Ahsoka. But so this one only looks good just standing in one still position, and I have her stood holding Grogu. In fact, damn it, I'm just going to go and show you. Boom. Right, here we are, Mandalorian shelf. I mean, this is nothing new, what I'm telling you now. Loads of people have done this, especially with the Rey Island Journey poncho. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't want to waste a really good figure of Ahsoka doing what I've got her doing in this pose here now, because she's just stood still and calm with Grogu. People are using the other two vintage collection figures. You know, the new one from Mando you could use and do that. And then obviously you could use the Clone Wars #2 one, which is supposed to be for the end of the Clone Wars season 7, you know what I mean? But this one, because it's such a poorly articulate, well, it's an articulated figure, but it articulates poorly, should we say. I just have her doing, look, oh, she looks quite good there like that. And she looks better from behind. Hello, Tez, are you watching? This is another figure that looks good that way, because the face is a bit funny as well. Well, we'll go and have another look at it, but they've changed the face. Quite nice. It's a nice facial sculpt, but it's just such a drastic change in this new reissue of this 102. But the other ones are really good. I still haven't opened it yet. It's coming up. I'm coming up to it on my quick shot series, but she looks very like Rosario Dawson, definitely the latest ones they've done. I'm not quite sure what they're trying to do with this other one, but anyway, I like that one there. She looks good like that. So if you have got one of these in the black series or got it loose, I recommend using this one with a poncho on. Just have her stood nice and calm with baby Grogu. So there she is again. That's the one we've just been looking at. And this is the new one. I'll put them side by side so you can check them out together. Oh yeah, we'll go in close on this one here. Oh, hang on. Yeah, she's got better eyes, hasn't she? Look at those eyes, they're fantastic. You get more of that. It certainly reflects the card better, doesn't it? Look at that, wow. So yeah, if you get her now while she's cheap. Certainly don't be opening this one for worth hundreds, but and the value will be coming down, no doubt. But that's a nice looking figure, I suppose. The attire, I just don't remember her wearing that in the Clone Wars. I think this is supposed to be almost not expanded universe, but does this depict her in an era, a more mature Ahsoka, like, you know, after what we saw on screen? I don't know now what they've been doing, but there might be an episode where she wears that attire. I don't know. I don't remember it, but still. And then finally, ending on him. My first impression when I opened this one, this is the new one. When I opened it the other day, my first reaction was, it is the one figure of this whole wave that looks like it's not changed as much. But let's have a look. No, they're so similar. There's definitely a change. They are different. And what kind of technos are these? The facial. I mean, these child figures always freak me out a bit. They do look like kind of like Victorian dolls or something, you know. But yeah, what's going on here, man? That's the new one. Yeah, he certainly looks more lifelike. Again, I don't know how they do it, man. There's a sparkle of something. The eyes look more alive on these newer figures. It's great. Well done, Hasbro. I mean, you certainly see that with the 6-inch line as well. My hands are shaking, man. I was in an uncomfortable pose there. My wrist was leaning on the ironing board. This one here. Yeah, like lifeless eyes, like a doll's eyes. You know, Robert Shaw said it better than I. This happens as well, this. Hang on. Have you ever noticed that these sometimes, I don't know if it's something to do with air pressure or something, but sometimes these pop. But anyway, there you are, ladies and gentlemen. I just thought I'd give you an overview of my thoughts on these. So I'll just pan along so you can see them one final time. But this is a good repack wave, you know, for if it's carded and loose. I mean, that's a good carded one. And these are great for the loose collector. I mean, I already have him. Like I've said, I will definitely be opening him again. Can't have too many Obi-Wans, and even if you've got a vehicle, you could stick one in a vehicle and then the other on your shelf. Or here's my other thing I wanted to say really quickly about this Obi-Wan Kenobi. They could have totally, given that they did the Genndy Tartakovsky wave, they could have put this fella onto a Clone Wars card. Not that type, but the Genndy wave type, you know? There you go. I mean, I really hope they do more of these, because, you know, they could bring out so many. They could put Dooku in this. Grievous. We just repack that Grievous. That Grievous. I mean, that Grievous. You know what I'm saying? That one's very expensive on the secondary market. Bring him out again. Put him on this one. Or again, you could put him on the Revenge of the Sith one if you really wanted to. But you get my point. It's a surprise to me. Or it's interesting. You know, given that they're giving alternative card backs like they did for that Clone Trooper. You know, the VC 50, the 501st one. You know, I'm whipping everywhere here. He's over there. Him. Since they've given you him again on a Clone Wars card, they could have given you or him again on a Clone Wars card. Not that one. No, this one. You know what I mean? And they could have filled out that line a bit more. But anyway, man, I feel exhausted. I've just been whipping around and reading off my thoughts about this wave. But I'm interested in it. I think it's really good. And I hope I've ordered another set so I can open a couple of them. Let me know your thoughts below. Anyway, I have been Only One Kenobi. If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe. Thank you for watching the very first episode of Only One Fans. That went down really well. I've had lovely feedback from people. And I'm going to be working on another episode of that as we speak. So that should be awesome. So stay tuned for that. One final time, I have been Only One Kenobi. Only one. Out.